All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Rachel Oates after party, and Rachel has decided to jump in for this as well. I am out of room, guys, so I figured this would happen. So if you do want to jump in, you'll have to wait until somebody jumps out. And I just wanted to point out that there's a fella in my stream with me today. His name is actually David Worley, but he's of course listed himself as my first patron, which I think is hysterical. I have two now, David. I have two patrons. I'm reaping in the $9 a month. Yes.
How does that? Wait, how does that make any sense?
Big YouTube money.
Your tiers are $1, $2, and $5.
Yeah.
How can you have? Wait,
well, you can have
two patrons.
Donations.
Patreon keeps some money, right? So.
Fine. Yeah. How would I know?
Well, how many do you have then? A couple. Yeah, it's a slow start, but it'll pick up in time. I'm pretty sure.
I was going to ask, what's the name of the snake?
The name of the snake is Vladimir Bechterev. Vladimir
I remember.
I have no idea what that means.
It's named after a Russian neurologist who discovered Bechterev's disease. That's a disease that you can get back at your neck, and you'll walk around like this all the time when you've got it. And also, he diagnosed Joseph Stalin with paranoid schizophrenia. And incidentally, he was found dead the morning after.
No connection there.
None at all. Definitely none. He was old. He was like 70 when it happened.
Wow. Jeez.
Surely it was that. Du er lidt forsigtig med slangen.
Oh my god.
We're sharing our headphones here, so it's always a bit of an issue with all the cords and that. They saw the snake already.
I love snakes so much.
It's cute. You guys need to get Bluetooth headphones in.
Yeah, we should. But I don't know anything.
Oh, okay. Well, I've gone through, I think in the past year, I've gone through like 4 sets of headphones because I'm the guy that always fucking jumps up and yanks them out, and then they end up not being able to hear out of one ear. And I'm like, and I had a pair of Sennheisers that cost me almost $300. And and actually I originally bought them for studio work, for recording our music and doing some compression work and stuff. But eventually, and that had a nice long cord, so I could actually get up and go over and grab something if I wanted to. But I don't know what happened. It just, I couldn't hear out of the left ear with the damn thing after a while. So I decided to retire them, and I went and bought another pair at Walmart. Don't ever buy your headphones at Walmart because they'll last about a week. And this is I got this one at Best Buy. These are just some cheap Sony headphones, but they do the job. I think it
depends on the headphones, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually using a pair of Bluetooth headphones. And I've had them for over a year, and they've worked.
Yeah. Well, the Bluetooth you can probably better because there's no cords attached to it, right? So you don't have to worry about yanking one and stretching it out, and then eventually inside it strips out and you're fucked, right? So. Oh, kids, sorry.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I know. I've had to keep my mouth closed this entire time because anybody who knows me knows that about 90% of my words are not safe for work.
Expletives.
I'm really looking forward to this history channel. In that case,
history channel. Yeah,
Black Death.
Right now, I'm actually
fracking, sucking, fracking, Black Death and Brocker, fracking, sucking.
Yeah, right now. Sorry about that. But yeah, no. Right now, I'm actually writing out the script for the very in America. So It's actually quite interesting.
I do quite like history. I've kind of got into looking into the history of London a lot recently, and there's like so much I want to talk about on my channel. There's so many interesting little bits. Like I want to do quite a short video on Cleopatra's Needle, which is this huge Egyptian column, kind of shaped like a needle, that's along the bank of the Thames. And God knows why it's called Cleopatra's Needle, because it had nothing to do with Cleopatra. It was made like hundreds of years before she was even born. And there's like this incredible story of it getting to the UK, and it's all like traumatic and crazy. And then eventually it did get to the UK, and the Victorians decided to build these 2 lion statues to like protect it, like they did in Egypt. But traditionally the lion statues were facing outwards, so they were like, you know, watching for enemies, protecting it. But just because I think it was whoever was I don't know, either like mayor of London or maybe like the Queen or something at the time, I can't remember. But someone basically was like, no, that looks ugly, make them face inwards. So they like threw out hundreds of years of Egyptian tradition just because someone was like, no, I want it to look good. So there's like history there. And then during the World War I bombings, they got really damaged. And if you go up to them today, you can still see like holes and burn marks in them and stuff from where they got damaged by one of the bombs. It's really cool. So I want to do a video about that. So history's fun.
Yeah, history's well, I always think whenever I hear something, oh, history this or history that, I always say, yeah, history is usually written by the winners. You know, I often wonder what history books might look like if the opposing side got their chance to spill their words about the history and might have been involved with. It might look a little different. You never know. Or we might view certain things a little differently.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm really struggling with this video I'm doing on the plague, because especially in the 1665 case, which was kind of one of the worst ones ever to hit London, the problem was that all the educated rich people who could write fled London. They just got out of the worst of it. And the people who were most affected were the real lower class, working class, homeless people, things like that, who couldn't write. They didn't have diaries. There were no real records of what happened to them, other than a few rich people looking on from a distance saying, oh, well, I saw this happen today to so-and-so, but we don't really know. Same with things like wills and stuff. We can see how many people were coming down with the plague and being affected by it in the upper classes, because they were all writing wills, and when they got ill they would write a new will and leave stuff. When a family member died, they would write a new will and leave stuff, and so on. So we can see this in the upper classes, but there's none of that for the lower and working classes again. So it's really hard to know what life was like for them because there's just no records. So it's tough.
Yeah, for sure.
And they all died, so no one could ask them.
That's right. Oh, I spelled Dallas wrong. Oh, well. How do you spell Dallas wrong? For some reason, I threw a K in there. I don't know. It's the white guy in me with the K. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to tread in there.
Damn Canadians. Have you seen the South Park episode where they tried to teach Mr. Garrison Canadian just before he turns into Trump? And they're going through the alphabet, and it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, A.
That's not what we sound like, motherfucker.
That's it.
Kind of is, though.
Man, I got to watch my language. We got a wee one. We've got impressionable ears.
My daughter wants to tell you the alphabet in Danish.
Oh,
go on then.
Yeah, let's take us to school.
Yeah, værsgo, Tyre.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, X, Y, Z, A, Ø, Å, der til, hvad skal der stå på min mors store tog?
Awesome. Very cool.
Amazing.
You guys have way more letters than we do.
No, the last couple of lines were a rhyme.
Oh, okay.
That
Nice.
was basically the alphabet song.
Wait, you stole our alphabet song? What the hell?
Hey, they stole it from Twinkle Twinkle
Wait,
Little Star.
wait.
Right. And Bob
You
Black.
stole it from us.
Yeah, we did.
That's like 3 songs with the same tune. Bob Black Sheep, have you any wool? And Twinkle Twinkle Little
yeah.
Star.
Yeah.
That's like it's like, come on, guys. You can't keep using the same song over and over again.
Oh, you can see that we can.
Well, yeah, okay, technically. It's just in my mind, it shows lack of imagination. Oh shit! Sorry, Russ. We're all full up again, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks,
quick,
Phil.
a quick shout out to Robert X, who is a new patron for Neil.
For me?
Aw.
Really?
Chat. Did you miss it? He got you tagged. Another
I
patron, so
totally
we can't
missed it.
afford more at the moment.
Oh, dude, $1 a month is better than sharp stick in the eye. I always say.
Well, funny you should mention it.
What, the stick in the eye?
Yeah, well, Matura just poked me in the eye for a couple of minutes ago. It was on the live stream.
Oh. Good job.
Do it again.
Yeah, wait,
No,
we
don't
missed
do
that.
it.
Let's get a replay. Oh, dude, she's adorable. You make good-looking kids, man.
Thank you.
Nah.
And
It's from her mother.
Oh, yeah. He's so humble. And before we carry on, I just wanted to say hello to Dallas, who joined us a couple minutes ago.
Hey,
Dallas, man, how you doing, man?
pretty good. How about you?
I'm surviving. I've got my coffee, so I won't get all grumpy and bite anyone's head off. So that's a good thing.
That's good. What kind of coffee you get?
Well, it's Tim Hortons. Tim
Hortons.
You know, and I made a promise to, we were talking about this earlier, Rachel and I made a promise to Shannon Q. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of her war on Christmas sort of stuff that's going on right now on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny. And I told her that my contribution was to not get the Christmas cups from Tim Hortons, to use my travel mug, but my travel mug, I can't find it. It's dirty somewhere. I said, that's about the best I can do, because otherwise I really don't have anything else I can do. I mean, I could run through like Walmart and steal all the little baby Jesuses from the nativity scenes, and then like maybe pull out some of the Lego dudes from and put them in there instead, like a little mini Darth Vader in there or something, which would be awesome.
I don't know. I quite like Christmas though. But,
Oh yeah, shit yeah. I mean, it's a good time, right? Get together with family,
make
the
pie.
food. Oh man, the food.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm gonna eat more of my bagel now. I just made myself hungry.
Actually, the alleged war on Christmas is starting in Denmark as well.
They make a big teddy.
Is that what you call your dad?
I have a smaller bear.
That's great. Big panda.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little micro one.
It's
Did you guys?
Oh yeah. See.
Did you guys see that post
Mine's
I
got
just put?
waffles.
Uh-huh.
On Twitter.
With the kittens.
It's
It says
a panda
the
teddy.
kitten printer is running out of ink because there's like a dark one and a medium one and a light one.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny.
The war on Christmas thing is starting in Denmark as well. It's a bit different than in the States. It started with IKEA doing their winter collection, and they sold Christmas decorations for the winter holiday. If you wanted to translate it into English. Into English equivalents, and the right wingers were instantly on it and saying that this was bowing down to Islam, because as many people know, Muslims don't celebrate Christmas. Well, actually, in Denmark they do, and they do it pretty much the same way that everyone else does it, but because IKEA, which is a Swedish firm, and in Denmark we have this idea of Swedes bowing down to Islam all the time, because it was IKEA that did it. Well, they are now bowing down to Islam by calling their winter collection a winter collection.
Really?
Yes, yes. And there were some other examples.
They do know it's actually winter, right?
Oh, I mean, and of course the internet went to town. Just a sec. You see this guy?
She's as bad as Kyra.
Less furry.
Yes.
Yeah, a little less furry.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait till Faceless Forum. I'll be humping your leg, Neil.
Please.
I'll bring some adult diapers for you, right?
So what happened? What has happened? What is happening is suddenly a lot of doctored images show up from supermarkets, allegedly, where they replaced the Danish word for Christmas, which is, by the way, a heathen word. It's the word Yule, which is also used in the States to some extent. And that was all replaced with winter. But it became clear quite quickly that all these examples were doctored. And either it was made for trolling or it was made by someone who actually wanted to stir controversy. So there's absolutely nothing about it. But if you look at Twitter feeds or Facebook groups that are dealing with this, everyone, a lot of right-wingers think that there is an actual war on Christmas going on. So now in Denmark as well. But with slightly different fronts, I would say.
Right. Yeah, I remember the first time I ever heard this war on Christmas business, and I'm like, "What are they fucking talking about? What do you mean?" You know, and people always say, don't spell Christmas with an X. I'm like, you realize that Jesus' name in Greek starts with an X, right?
Right.
It's the entire notion is fucking ridiculous. Like, seriously, you're not going to lose Christmas. Don't worry about it. I mean, if, let's just say, and cross our fingers because that works, that eventually religion disappears, there's still going to be Christmas. They may call it something else at some point, but it's still going to be there, because really what it's about today is for families getting together and being together, and because we all have busy lives, and this is one time a year we can do that.
They'll call it
There's
the
money in it.
land celebration.
Yeah. Well, shit. How many traditions were stolen from other belief systems and added to Christmas? Like you're saying with Yule, right? We have the Yule log. We have the Christmas tree, which came from, I think, Germanic tradition of some sort. And we have all kinds of stuff. So that's borrowed from. But the funny thing is I always say it's really easy to, pull people into your belief system if they're already familiar with some of the traditions because of their own, right? So, so it's much easier to sway them. It's almost like a religion marketing tactic. So, Hopspots, what do you think the odds are you might make it to Faithless Forum?
They are pretty slim. I mean, I got obligations with my family. I don't like to travel. That's one of my little dark secrets. It's not so much the flying as such, but it's the time just before and the time after. And I've heard how much of a pain it is to get into the United States. All the forms that you have to fill in and all that, and the mere thought of it gives me cold sweat. I mean, really, I really don't. I'm not sure if I can. Oh, she's drawn a Danish flag.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's amazing. Oh, I love that. That's really sweet.
Good job.
Now all you've got to do is reverse the colours, and then you've got a real flag.
Shots fired. See, I was going to say throw
I hold no
leaf
prisoners. Beat you to it.
You did indeed.
Hey, when is Faithless Forum? Is that the end of April?
Usually it is, and we're not entirely sure. I'll bug Thomas and see if I can get some more information, because he's already promised to let me know the second that they're about to launch these tickets so that I can get a VIP ticket again. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, I keep checking on the Facebook page, but I mean that doesn't get updated.
no.
I will say though,
Teddy again.
yeah. I will say though, I'd love to go. I'd really love to go to Faithless Forum if I had the
capability to get there.
Yeah, and I mean money is becoming less and less of an issue, really. I mean, I could find the money if I wanted to, but I'm a bit scared of traveling, to be honest.
Yeah. It's not uncommon.
Too bad for me getting to America. I had to fill out like one form for the ESTA, and then I waited about 2 weeks, and they got back to me saying that was okay. The most difficult bit was when I got there, like going through the immigration stuff, because they were asking me like a ton of questions, and it was like, what are you here for, and that sort of thing. And obviously, like I told them I was speaking at a conference, and so they were like, do you have any proof of that? And I was like, do you want to look at the website? So they like went to the website and saw me as like a featured speaker, and they're like, oh, that is you, like checking me against the photo. And I was like, yeah. And then she like,
sorry.
go
You finish your story.
it's okay.
I'm gonna fill in afterwards.
Okay, sorry, I was gonna say, and then she was like, oh, so like, who are you then? I was like, I'm a YouTuber, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna Google you. So she started like Googling my name, and she like goes my YouTube videos. And I was like, oh god, this is really embarrassing.
Did she
And
sub?
then she's like, okay, well, sorry?
Did she sub?
Oh, I'm not sure actually. But then she like called over a colleague and was like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, that's
And then,
fucking hilarious.
It's not even the worst bit. Then she was like, so where are you staying? So I gave them the hotel address, and then I gave them Thomas's address. But Thomas uses a different name, so I had to give like his actual name. But I'd been calling him Thomas, so she was like, wait, who's so and so? And I was like, and I had to explain and stuff. And then she got like really like, I know, kind of asking me loads of questions about Thomas and how I knew him and how long we've been friends and all this stuff. And I was like, is there something wrong with him? Is this weird? And then she goes, are you going to marry him? And I was like, what? So, yeah, because I was traveling with Steve and Hannah, who were a couple, and I was like coming here essentially to like meet a man in her eyes. She's like, are you going to marry him? And so I was like, I had to be like, no. And
Thomas,
it was really embarrassing. And then she was like, okay, well, that's fine. You know, you go ahead, you go in. And I'm walking off. She's like, I'm trusting you. Don't marry that man.
Who says airport security can't have a sense of humor?
Right. Well,
That's funny.
It's that conversation that I also fear a bit, because I heard some years ago I actually played the bagpipe, and I did that for a number of years. Now I heard this story from this is a third-hand source or something, but still, a drummer from my band had been speaking to someone who did Highland dancing, and cool. she went to the States to be there as a judge at a competition. And when she went to immigration and told what she was going to do, she was going to be a judge at this dancing competition. That's when they started asking her if she would get something for it, and that's when she made the huge mistake that I'm not going to get any cash, but maybe they'll give me a bottle of whiskey or something. But even that was apparently enough to throw her right back home. Because she was, when she was there on a tourist visa, she was not allowed to do anything anything that could be regarded as work. And getting a bottle of whiskey to work as a judge at a dancing competition was enough to get her expelled.
Oh my goodness, that seems ludicrous.
No,
that's insane.
Yeah.
Where's the logic there? That's what I don't understand.
You're not allowed to work on a tourist visa. That's the logic, and it's just taken a bit too far.
Yeah.
She made a picture of herself.
You had to point out me.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's a nice dress.
Yeah.
I
It looks almost like her.
Yeah, you get a budding artist in the family.
Like a mini Rachel. She's got a mini me, except
Are you a mini Rachel?
Yeah.
Danish.
With a gigantic bear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, none of my bears
When
are
you
that
go get
big.
my giant bears out.
I see them all having a party over there.
That is a panda teddy.
Panda bear.
It's a panda teddy.
I'm gonna do it.
Panda teddy. Oh, okay, because it's not a real bear.
I got a real bear. Bigger than me, look.
Oh,
God.
see.
Little things.
We've got.
He has really long legs.
Is this like the teddy bear dating service now? Is this?
I don't know.
It's going to be a long
Jordan,
distance
you're a single.
relationship.
I don't have any. I have no teddy bears.
Yeah, I don't have any.
However, when I met my biological mom, hang on a second here. She got me. I think he fell in behind the couch. Hang on a second.
I recently got a giant octopus, which is amazing. I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram, but she's like the
Yeah.
size of me. And
Oh, wow.
I only went to the shop to go get Kyra, like her monthly fleeing medicine stuff. And I saw this octopus like across the shop. And I was like, oh my God. And the friend who I was with, he was just like, I'm going to have to buy it for you, aren't I? And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. He's like, I'm going to have to buy it for you.
TV remote.
Giant octopus, and I was like walking through Lewisham with this like giant octopus. It's like arms wrapped around my neck, and people like as I'm walking past. It was great.
That's
Loved it.
It's my security, okay?
Mhm.
Well, my
She's
mom.
my protection.
When I finally got to meet my biological mom for the first time, she said, I missed so many years of your youth and stuff like that. So she wanted to buy me a teddy bear, quotation right type of thing. But she goes, so what's your favorite kind of animal? and as a joke, I'm like, I like dragons. Like they're real. Right?
Yeah.
So she got me this. Actually a puppet.
That's sweet.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, little puppet dude there.
Oh, it's a puppet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, he's so
Make it-
cute.
Nice.
Hey, everybody. Don't piss me off or I'll light your face on fire.
I feel left out because I don't have any toys.
What? Nope. What the hell is wrong with you, Del?
Just to clarify, Neil, is that are all these toys to scale? Are people in Canada just really big?
Yes. That's right. Yes. Yeah, you seen the movie Pete's Dragon, the remake, the size of that dragon? I'm like twice the size of that thing. It was okay. I was a huge fan of the original Pete's Dragon when I was a little kid. But in that movie, it's this goofy cartoon drawn dragon, right? So I could identify because I look like I'm goofy and cartoon drawn. But it's just pretty. I could identify with that version of that. But the new one I thought was really good.
I've never seen either one of them.
No, you got to see the original first. Of course, it's going to look dated, obviously, but it's still like those old where they mix the animation with the live, like the bed knobs and broomsticks.
Yeah, like Mary Poppins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like Disney used to do that, and I was a big fan of all that sort of thing.
that's cool.
And then Roger Rabbit comes out and says, "Oh, this is the first time." No, it's not. You fucking. That needs a Canadian maple leaf in it, like this.
Yeah, it does. It does.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to head off to do the gaming stream,
Sure.
but everyone take care. Dallas, I haven't actually talked to you yet.
No.
ever, so I'll have to.
What's
hello.
your channel? Oh, hey. No, what's your YouTube channel?
It's just my name, David Worley.
Not Neil's first Patreon.
Afraid not. That'd be a fantastic YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'll go into the.
Hey, by the way, now that we're at it, Neil, did you get an appointment with Mortimer?
I have spoken to Mortimer, and he's in the same area that you are, and he says it's really, really difficult for him to get the time to do it because of the time difference and where it might end. Like he might have his kids and stuff like that, right? So.
Yeah, right. And David, that would be someone for you to check out as well. Mortimer, 81.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the first.
Send me anything on Twitter. I'll check it out.
But just so you know, I've got a message out to Richard Carrier, Andrew Seidel, because he saw my post and he really liked my post, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm like, I should have you on my show." And he's like, "Yeah, let's do this." So we've been exchanging emails, and it's tough for him too, because of course he has obligations outside of his work time. He says the best time for him to get involved would be during the work hour. So I'm going to have to literally take a vacation day from work, which I don't mind doing,
No,
and then have him on the show, right? So
definitely worth it.
Going to end up doing that because he's interesting.
I'm going to leave the stream as well because it's about her bedtime now.
Oh, you never told us her name.
It's Tyra.
Tula?
Yeah. Tyra.
Oh, that's a pretty name.
Nice to meet you, Tula.
Georgie says hi.
Hi.
Does Kyra ever get jealous whenever you get Georgia?
Yes. Yes. She'll often, like, if I'm cuddling them too much, she'll come and like sit on top of them and be like, no.
My human.
Like paws in the face, like, no.
All right. Yeah. See you guys.
Hey, good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping in.
Bye.
Take care, one and all.
Oh, and David.
You take care as well.
Bye.
I like how he just says that and then just abandons everything.
Yeah.
There's room again, Russ, if you want to come in. Yeah, because I'll probably keep this going for about another half an hour or so, and because I have things that I have to do as well. There's lots of kids at the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament waiting for me to get there.
Yeah.
So I can make YouTube videos for that channel as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I have one. It's my Saris 13 channel, and I go down to a lot of the big events that Yu-Gi-Oh puts on down the coast, like their World Championships or Yu-Gi-Oh Championship Series, and the kids all want to be in videos with me and stuff like that, and they all want me to sign, they want me to autograph their cards and stuff. It's hilarious.
Wow. That's cool.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and one little guy, this little Asian kid that was down there with he told me who he was. Oh yeah, you always leave comments on my videos. Yeah, but I want you to do me a favor. I'm like, sure. What do you need? He goes, I want you to introduce me to Billy Brake, who was one of the big champion players at the time. I'm like, oh, I see. That's how he starts laughing. I go, I'll tell you what, I've spoken to Billy before. I'll introduce him. And I go, hey, Billy. And he goes, hey, Neil. I go, this little guy wants to talk to you. He wants your autograph or something. And he's using me to get to you. He goes, he just starts laughing. And he goes, he's chit-chatting with the kids. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's like, so Jacqueline Glenn recently did a show with her now fiance here in London, and she like invited me along. So I turned up and like everyone was there. Sorry?
I saw some of the pictures that you posted about that.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was really good, and she's so lovely in person. But yeah, like most people there were there with friends and stuff, and I just turned up by myself. And as soon as I walked in, she was like, "Oh, hi, Rachel, good to see you." And we like hugged and stuff, and we chatted, and everyone was like, how do you know each other? You know, sort of thing. One girl there, she was so lovely, and she knew who I was, and she was like, "Oh my God, Rachel, hi!" And she came up, you know, I love your videos, you're great. Can I get a photo with you? I was like, yeah, sure. And everyone else there was like, are you someone we should know? You introduced me to Jacqueline, and I was like, yeah, I guess.
yeah. You're that jumping point, right? That's kind of the way I felt. Yeah. That's funny though. Yeah, I saw the picture. I would love to get Jacqueline on, but that's going to be a tough one to do because she's super fucking busy. And now that she's engaged, she's going to be putting time into that as well. So maybe I'll wait till she's done the whole, when things are a little bit quieter for her, and I'll send her a message. Maybe Rachel, you could put a bug in her ear for me.
Oh, maybe. Do you want me to introduce you?
No. I mean, I'm pretty self-sufficient when it comes to stuff like that. As long as, because I just don't want to go in cold if I don't have to. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, you're using me here.
Yeah,
I get it.
that's right.
Yeah, basically.
You can slap me across the face of the Facebook forum this year when you see me again. Here's for the whole fucking Jacqueline's kind of thing. I don't even know what
I know this has been like a year-long play to get to Jacqueline. You don't care about me. I get it.
I've been found out. Well, she is one of the first channels that popped up when I started looking at atheist channels.
Yeah.
This is going back some time too. So she's one of the first ones that popped up. So
Yeah.
I checked
Yeah.
it out.
Too, actually.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, she's got a pretty good head on her shoulders. This one talks about some relevant stuff that I'm right alongside with that.
Yeah.
And she's friends with Blair White, eh? I didn't realize that until I
love
saw
Blair
them
White.
together. Yeah, she's good too.
Oh, she's great. Some people get kind of like weirded out when I say that because they're like, yeah, but you know, she's kind of conservative and her politics. This is. I'm like, yeah, I don't agree with everything she says, but I love her as a person.
Yeah.
Like, I've said this before, but just like, oh my god, if I could have like 1/10 of the self-confidence that Blair has, I would be made.
right. And
I love it.
It oozes out of her too. Like you can totally.
Oh yeah.
She's
And
completely.
she's so charismatic. She's smart. She's articulate.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, girl crushing on her a little bit. Yeah.
Understandable. Sorry about that, Russ. Dallas jumped in, and when you went out of the stream, so because he was mentioning he wanted to jump in. No, that's cool, dude. People rotate in and out of these things all the time. We actually still have space for one more if anyone does want to come in for a little bit. Because about another
okay.
25 minutes.
I'll just harbor my hatred for Dallas Wade, in other ways.
All right, let's go.
So Dallas, I guess David's going to have you on his show.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, that's probably why he wants to get in touch with you.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Do check out his channel because he's got a really good channel.
I just looked and I'm subscribed to him. I didn't realize that I was. But I find that with a lot of people though, but I'm definitely going to check out his stuff. Yeah.
I do that too sometimes. I'll be watching YouTube drunk, or something. And I go, this is really good.
Yeah.
Sub, and then I wake up the next day and I go, wait a minute, why did I sub to this fucking channel?
Yeah. No, yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Dave's good people. Rachel, you were just on his show. That was a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. He did show me his feet though.
I don't know if I want to be on this show.
It's a wild ride. No, I was saying how I strangely get a lot of people who are into like foot fetishes and they message me to show my feet more. And yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I have yet to get one of those.
No, I actually did, like, as a joke. Like, I was like, "Oh, look at my bare ankles" or something. So, like,
yeah, that's a mistake. That's a mistake.
My feet, and I was like, "I have to leave it in the video now."
Yeah, somewhere there's some foot fetish.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
so the only thing I gathered from that entire story, Rachel, is that from now on, I'm just gonna DM you pictures of my feet.
No, video. It'll be better.
We've already got Nerdy Rodent in the chat going, show feet, please. All right, if you want to. There's my. It's got a shoe on it, but
I've got some naked feet right here.
Oh, there you go.
Georgie.
I could go grab. Yeah, Georgie, you perv. But he's got a heart on his feet. Doesn't get cooler.
I know, isn't he cute?
Yeah. There you go.
Like, seriously, he is so out of proportion. Like, look, he's regular bear, long legs,
and giant
and
head.
literally, like, the length of his body.
Yeah.
Hence the name Georgie Longlegs.
Georgie Longlegs.
You're a good boy, aren't you?
A lot of people. Speaking of long legs, sorry, a lot of people misidentify harvestmans for spiders because they call them daddy long legs, which is actually the other name for a cellar spider too, which is an actual spider. So a little bit of information there. And harvestmen, there's
long legs, the ones that can fly.
Oh, those are crane flies.
Oh, we call them daddy long legs here.
Do you? Well, we
Yeah,
either call them
that's
crane
horrible.
flies or They're also known and wrongly known as mosquito hawks because it was once thought that they attacked and ate mosquitoes, but they don't.
That's what people call them around here.
Mosquito hawks, or
mosquito hawks,
or leather jacket is another one.
Never heard that.
Must be a Canadian one, I guess.
Yeah.
I must have just called him. No, get away from me.
You gross-looking, long-legged piece of shit. Get out of here.
Oh, there's this spider living above my bed for like 3 days. I was terrified of it. And in the end, I like got one of my friends to come over and I was like, you need to take him outside because he's looking at me. And he was right above where I was sleeping. And he fell on the bed.
Rachel, he just wants to be your friend.
I don't want that kind of friend. But he fell on the bed and I ended up like screaming and I was like, I'm not sleeping in that bed tonight. So I ended up like stripping off all the sheets and washing them because I was like, I can't sleep in the bed that might have a spider in it. Horrible little thing.
I just want everyone to get on Twitter and mass tweet out that Rachel is specious.
I think we all know that anyway.
Yeah,
I'm a terrible person. I hate most people. Why not add animals into it as well, you know?
Hey, Quandary.
I usually hate all people.
Yeah, we're aware of that.
You don't discriminate, just everyone.
Yeah, fuck everyone.
Just everyone. It's funny because I for the longest time, people always thought I was joking with that, and they were like, I sit there and said when I told them, they're like, well, where would you ideally live? I'd be like, in a place that's the farthest away from anybody, and they're like, oh, you're so funny. I'm like, this is not a joke.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
This is serious. This is serious conversation right now. And finally they've gotten to understand it so much that they sit there and ask me they'll send me pictures of these random houses that are like in remote locations and saying, is this your dream house? And I say, yes, I love it.
Could you really live that way though? Like away from everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No hesitation there.
It could be like Grizzly Adams. His only friend's going to be a bear that happens to wander around in the woods.
It's like being right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do believe that animals, the animals that are non-human, are way better than the animals that are human.
Definitely, I would take a random dog over a random human any day.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're guaranteed they're going to be more loyal. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome to the stream, IQ. What you're slacking on your duties in the chat there, buddy. Oh, I don't know if he has audio again. He's been having issues with the audio, so.
I don't know.
Yeah, he can. He's just going to hover there in silence and judge us.
The all-seeing eye.
That's right. The all-seeing eye. Yeah, if you are trying to speak to, we cannot hear you. So maybe type into the chat your answers. That'll work.
So out of all you guys, and I don't want to keep changing the subject, but who's going to be at Faithless Forum? Because I'm curious. You will? Okay. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I won't. I probably won't be because A, that's just too expensive for me, and B,
expensive.
I think the last time I looked,
I'm in college.
yeah,
and
do you know how much? Do you know how much the tickets are?
No, they haven't released that yet.
Well, do you? How much were the tickets last time?
For a VIP, I paid $50. That's nothing.
Oh, that's nothing. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 75.
No, $50.
Yeah, I also work as a security guard, and I'm the only one in my household working, and I pay all the bills.
Dude, so I'll get your ticket.
That makes it a little bit difficult. But no, don't do that, because the second issue is the fact that this winter I'm going to see my in-laws in Florida. My mother-in-law is paying us to get a rental car, or she's going to get a rental car for us so we can drive out there and give us the money for the gas and everything. And by the time Faithless Forum comes up, I may not have the time off saved up enough.
Oh, because you have to use some of your vacation time to do the Florida thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense.
That sucks.
And you're with a company that does the banking hours, and then you can take time, sort of thing. I'll take that as a yes.
I don't know. I just know that. I don't
That's
know.
what
I
ours
just know that well, I just know that ours, like right now, whenever I requested the time off, I requested a week off, and this was about a month or two ago. And whenever I requested it off, they said at that point in time I had 5 days saved up. So by the time that I would be leaving, it would be I'd have enough time to be approved. So
Gotcha.
Well, is Faithless Form like a weekend thing?
It is.
No, it is.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
You see,
They're thinking of making it 2 days next year, though, so it'll probably be a little bit more expensive.
yeah.
Probably not a huge amount more. And it will be like a 2-day thing, so overnight, but it'll be worth it.
500 people on the waiting list last year.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's insane.
The waiting list was like double the capacity of the event, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like myself and Rachel, both of us spent extra time down there so we could go to the ACA and hang out and meet
Amazing.
there and do some crazy, go out for dinners and stuff like that. Like we had a lot of fun. Hang out at Matt's place, playing video games. I was watching Eric go crazy trying to do the cyclist game, and they're trying to get
my
out.
God, yeah.
Oh, it's just driving. He's like, I'm like, so settle down, buddy.
Had you already left by the time we went out on 6th Street? that night?
Yes, I was gone, and then you guys went and you shot guns and stuff too, and I was like, "Fuck! I should have took 2 weeks off. God damn it!"
It was so much fun. We did the shooting range, which was like the first time I've ever been near a gun. Never mind shot one. I literally Ocean taught me how to shoot an AK-47. It was insane. It was like I always thought I hated guns, but when you're in like a really safe environment like that, and you know that there's people watching over you and everything like that, like it is very empowering. Like to kind of like have so much power in your hands and be like, oh my god, like I hit that target. It's I know, kind of amazing. But the night we went out was so much fun because who was it who did it? It was Thomas, Steve, Matt as well, Matt Dillahunty. They all did the what's it called? The like I don't know how to describe it. It's the thing where you sit on it and it like moves you around and it spins and what's it called?
Mechanical bull?
Yes, they did a mechanical ball for words. They did that, and it was so funny. Like the guys just got flung around all over the place.
Well, I would laugh.
What to drink, and I accidentally burnt Stephen Thomas by buying his shots on fire. So, he went to this bar called the Big Bang. Because I was like, oh my god, with a name like that, we have to go there, right? And they had a shot called the Big Bang Bomb, except it wasn't a shot. It turns out it was 2 shots in a 3rd shot. Oh. And the way they did it was there was like a pint glass with a shot in the bottom, and then another shot of something else and another shot glass, and then another shot glass balanced on top. And that one was on fire. So the idea was you blew out the fire, knocked one of the shots in, and it knocked it all in and mixed together, and then you drank it. But Steve was so drunk at this point. He was just like running around all over the place. I was like, no, Steve, come have a drink. So
because I need
the glass had got quite hot. And I was just like, guys, okay, we'll do this, but be careful. So me knowing it was on fire, not being as drunk as those two, spun my glass around so the hot bit wasn't anywhere near me and downed it. That was fine. Thomas takes like sip. He downs it in one, but burns his face slightly here.
Oh no.
It was okay. Didn't leave too much for Mark. Steve takes a drink.
I'm picturing this right now.
Goes here. Goes, oh my god, what was that? Drinks it again. His face.
Oh, poor Steve.
Next day, Steve was like, how could you do that to me? I'm like, oh, you knew it was hot and drank twice.
Yeah, sorry about that there, Freddy Krueger.
So, bless him. For the next 2 days, they had burnt faces because of me. It felt really bad. Great drink though, tasted lovely.
Next time I see Steve, I'm gonna go, "What's that you got on your nose there, buddy?" A little bit of an incident there. And then he's just gonna point at you, going, "It's her fault."
Blame her. There was one point as well where Steve was really drunk that night, and he's just like, I want a drink. Will someone buy me a drink? Yeah, sure, I'll go to the bar and get it. That's fine. Like, and I went up and I bought us a couple of drinks, and he's like, "Here, take this," and he handed me like an English £10 note to pay for it. Like, you know where we are? And he's like, "Yeah, we're in a bar. Take my money."
Nationality rules isn't so rational at that point.
Look, I'm going to say this now. Being a Texan, I know exactly the response. If you would have handed that money to any random bartender or whatever, they've been like, "What the fuck is this?" Look, this isn't Monopoly. This isn't Monopoly. Okay,
that's what they say about Canadian.
We need real money here.
Especially because our money now is like plasticky.
Yeah,
really.
Like with the new nose, it's just like they feel like plastic toy money.
Huh. Yeah, and a section of our bills now have this clear section with like
us too.
It's literally it's a polymer. It's a polyfiber polymer thing that they make them out of.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people learned that you don't leave them on your car dash in the middle of summer because they tend to shrink a bit when you do that.
Oh, no. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't know
crazy.
that.
Yeah, it's well, I'd only heard about it happening a couple of times because most people don't leave, a fucking $50 bill on their dashboard because that's something to bust your window and get it, right? So,
Yeah. Huh.
yeah, and of course we don't have ones and twos anymore. We have the loony and the toonie, right? So little, and the toonies are great because they're two different types of metal, and when you throw them in the freezer, you can knock the center out of the middle of them. So you got like a hula hoop kind of coin and a little middle section thing. Which is great.
Wow.
That sounds like our £2
So I have a
coin.
quick question.
Yeah, similar.
So I got a question here. So do you have like Kaz and Bugs Bunny and all that stuff on your Looney Tunes?
No. The reason the loony is called a loony is because there's an actual picture of a loon, the bird, on the front. And when the twos came out, they came out a few years later. Well, what do we call these now? And somebody said, I don't know, Toonie? because it rhymes with loony, because there's nothing on there other than, like, I think there's a couple of bears, like polar bears. And, what do you call them? Berries? Looney Toonie. That just kind of made sense.
Put a lot of thought into that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. I just called it Toonie. There we go. And everyone's like, Toonie it is.
I need to
Hey,
go
at
back
least
up
y'all
to
are
Canada.
creative. At least y'all are creative. We just, they just like, yeah, this is a $1 bill and a $5 bill and a $20
No, it's
bill
$1.
and a 50.
$1, $5.
Oh yeah, $1.
$20. Yeah.
$100.
Except our
We're so
dollar,
creative with naming our money.
our dollar's worth like fucking 12 cents in the US. It's like, it's not really. It's around 80 or something.
Yeah.
Our dollar's a little weaker than the US dollar.
America.
I don't know what the hell. Yeah, America. Because I don't know what the hell you guys change it up, man. You're starting to actually put a little bit more purple in your money. I've noticed that because now it's like Hulk bills now. They're all like the colors of the fucking Incredible Hulk. You got green and purple. I'm just waiting for there to actually be a picture of the Hulk on one of your dollar bills.
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen.
Marvel is a U.S. company, right? So
I don't know though, because they said, hey, we're gonna put Harriet Tubman on the money. She's a great inspiration. She's a great, she did a lot of good things during the Civil War time frame when she had the Underground Railroad and all that stuff. And you had
our
too many
$10
people.
bill has our version.
Hell no, we're not gonna have that.
Really? Oh,
So yeah, there was a big outrage about people because they said we're going to put.
I remember.
I forget if she was. Yeah, I forget if it was. I think it was on the 20 because they wanted to get rid of Andrew Jackson.
Right.
I want to say. and
When was this?
there was an outrage about it.
It's a couple
this
years,
was
few years
a
ago.
couple of years ago. Yeah,
don't
they
remember
got
it.
a big outrage about it. Yeah, there was a big outrage about it. People are like, we don't need to be changing up our money, and it's like, why not?
Everybody else is doing it.
Every time I hear something like that, I always think of that movie with the fucking Gene Wilder. He also did History of the World. Mel Brooks movie, Blazing Saddles. And every time I hear something like that, I think of that scene, Mongo, fear change. You know, the big dude, right? He doesn't want to.
Yeah, or the cartoons that always depict old people as them over there saying, I don't like change.
Change is scary.
Well, we've got Alan Turing, who's going to be on our £50 note in a couple of years. Like,
Really?
yeah, that would not happen in America.
Oh,
Like,
no, God, no.
An openly gay man.
Not only the fact that he's gay, but the fact that he's British.
Well, that's it.
I kid you not, I don't know how many people I tell you that have this false pretense that that America just completely annihilated the British during the American Revolution. They think they're like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people that I personally know said, we kicked their ass in the Revolution. I'm like, you do realize that if the King of England at the time really, really wanted America, all he had to do was send up enough troops to get us into the next winter, and we would have been done.
Yep.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was
Like
however,
it's just amazing how many people just absolutely believe that like it was like a landslide type of victory. Like we were so fierce. We're not going to have British on our money because this is America, damn it.
America. And while you guys were busy and being all distracted, the Canadians went down there and burnt down your White House.
Yeah.
Because we're sneaky that way.
And that's why we're building a wall around Canada to keep out the snow Mexicans.
You guys should just, you know what you should do? Just build a wall around the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can keep everyone out, and then we can just grab a few fire hoses and start filling it up with water.
No.
There's an old joke with that, with Quebec wanted to separate from Canada. We're going to build a wall around Quebec so that you can't get here. And, you know, and I'm like, sure, you do that. We'll just fill it with water.
It's fair enough.
Well, my favorite, that has to be one of my favorite things about the whole entire wall thing was there was a fake tweet that somebody doctored up that was supposed to be from Trump that sat there and says, Canada, you're next. We're gonna keep you out, you snow Mexicans. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh my God, this is the most amazing thing ever. I knew it was fake as fuck, but I was just like, this is amazing. I love it.
I saw a tweet, or it was not a tweet, but it was a tweet that included a meme about the real wall that Trump built, and it shows a wall being built right through the center of America. Like you guys have split your country up now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's actually apparently, according to Trump's own words, apparently this wall is going to be somehow go around Texas and also take away New Mexico, because I'm going to assume because there's supposed to be a wall. Well, yeah, because there was supposed to be a wall around one of the states north of New Mexico. And I was like, is he thinking that New Mexico is actually a part of Mexico?
It can't be. It's New Mexico.
I mean, obviously, the old Mexico and the New Mexico. What's the difference? I mean,
it's like saying
New York is actually English, right?
Yeah, it's not part of the old York.
Yeah.
It's New York. Hampshire isn't actually in Hampshire. It's New Hampshire.
Exactly. I mean, it was just funny because
your president is
he
moron.
said it. Every now and then I get into spotty.
I mean, I'll admit something. I'm that guy with the popcorn watching your guys' politics going, yeah, you go, Trump. You fucking idiot. Just watch it. This is the best train wreck I've ever seen.
I was doing the same until we got Boris Johnson, and then
Oh, yeah.
we don't have the higher ground anymore.
No. Now you're like, yeah, we're kind of in the same boat now.
You're like,
Those as well.
you're like, haha, you Americans and your dumb people in politics. Boris Johnson is now in office. Oh no.
That's it.
Uh,
Somewhere,
to be
some
fair,
alien
though,
race.
we didn't vote him in, so don't blame me.
Somewhere, some alien race is going to go. Let's just nuke that planet. They're
Should we say no? We won't say hi.
Yeah. They've got all these stories that we've been visiting for years. Fuck that shit.
Alien, well, see, what really is going to happen is the alien race is going to be flying by, and they said, "Oh, we remember this planet back whenever they were so primitive. They must be changed now." See Trump and Boris are like, "No, they haven't. Let's just go."
Yeah, it's flying by. Oh, hard right. Let's get the hell out of here. Is there even right in space? Like, you can go any fucking direction. It's all 3D, right? So
There'd still be left and right.
Would there? I guess from your perspective, yeah.
Yeah, from whatever agent, yeah.
From inside the cockpit, if they call them cockpits.
Now, there wouldn't be a north, south, east, or west, though, obviously.
No,
there'd be up, down, this way, that way, that way, that way, and that way.
Yeah.
The only thing that stays constant is the fact that Australia's upside down.
That's right. That's right. I keep bugging Nacho Witness about that too. It's like, dude, I don't know if I can come visit you. I don't want all the fucking blood rushing to my head. Of course, there's that whole thing about how the toilets flush the opposite way down there. And apparently, that's not exactly true. I've been told.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I just find it hilarious how that whole entire Australia doesn't exist thinking about.
Oh yeah, that's from that one girl that made that tweet or proposition some years ago, and it just took off from there.
Well, it's not even that. It's
because it was funny.
No. Well, the thing is, it's not even that. What it is on one of the older flat Earth maps, they sit there and they went to do it, and Australia was left off. And people are like, "What about Australia?" And instead of saying, "Oh, maybe we should account for that," they said, "Well, obviously it doesn't exist." It's like, really, guys?
Yeah, I mean, come on, we would have included it if it was real.
So instead of correcting it, they just doubled down on their stupidity, and it was like, "Oh my God, that's brilliant! I love this."
I got a question. Flat Earth, is it an American thing? Was it Americans?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously not, because you go back far enough, it goes back centuries.
But like this new movement, it's probably American.
I wouldn't be
You'd
surprised.
be surprised though. Like, I know a guy who works at the Greenwich Observatory, and he says, like, over the last few years, more and more people have been coming to him being like, "What's this about? Is there any truth in it?" And he's just like, "No."
It's a little bit of truth. It's just kind of flat. Slightly.
The area you're currently standing in appears to be flat. That's about the extent of it.
I love how there was one thing on Facebook. It had a picture of proving that a basketball was flat because there was a camera. There was a camera right against the surface of a basketball, and the shot that the camera took, the basketball was flat.
Yeah,
and then it had an outside shot.
They need that. They need that Jeranism guy to go and prove himself wrong again. Did you see that one, Rachel?
Yeah,
he did the laser pointer thing. Or the laser thing, and it ended up being like 3 feet above the target.
Okay, no. Hold on.
Hang on. No, I'm not forgetting. I'm just. It's a nutshell. And at the end of it all, after the failed experiment, he just sends her and he's go, "Huh." like, holy shit.
So it's actually a part of a documentary called like Behind the Curve, and it's on Netflix for those of y'all who want to go and watch it. But so there was 2 experiments that were that Tim and Bob, who Jeranism teams up with for the channel Globebusters. There are 2 experiments that they went to try to prove out. One was detecting that there was no that the Earth doesn't spin, and the other one was that the Earth is flat. The Earth doesn't spin one was a hilarious failure because somebody donated a 20,000 Ling Razor gyroscope to their cause. And so what they said was that what this is supposed to do is that if there's supposed to be a 15 degree rotation an hour if the world rotates on it. And so if that is true, then the Ling Razor gyroscope would pick up the 15 degree rotation. If it's not, then it would just read 0. Well, it read 15 degree rotation. So they said that obviously isn't, accurate. So they put this in a cylinder type of chamber thing because they said that the heavenly bodies must be influencing the device.
Oh yeah.
The device still read 15 degrees. So they said that their next experiment was to put it in a cylinder of bismuth, even though these cylinders don't fucking do anything. So,
dude, you're stupid. You think the world is flat and it doesn't spin. I mean, come on. You're already dealing with a level of dumb right there.
So then Jeranism decides that he does his thing where he gets on this long stretch of road and he decides to shoot a laser across to the other side between these 2 points. And if the laser goes through the hole on the other board, then that should prove that it's flat. Whereas if he has to put it over his head about a good 6 inches, then that will detect a curve. Well, obviously, because of the way fucking lasers work, when it happens is over that long distance, that laser pinpoint accuracy sprays out. And so it was, and he tried to focus the lensing of it and everything. And even though that won't fucking work because of how fucking lasers work, and he then decides to use a flashlight. And so what he does is, even though that also is a bit, but so he has the other guy shine the flashlight through the hole, and if he could see it, then that meant the Earth was flat. But if the guy had to raise it above his head, then that meant that there was some curve. And so he says, all right, he gets on the walkie and says, all right, shine the light. And he doesn't see anything. And he goes, are you shining it? And he's like, yeah. It's like, all right, now lift it above your head. The guy lifts it above his head and you could see the light. And and all he said was, interesting. Interesting.
Oh,
it was the most beautiful thing I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's funny when they prove themselves wrong. It just cracks me up every time. All right, guys, I got to wrap this up.
Okay.
Yeah, you can stop talking.
You already know that's a bit hard for me to do.
I know.
Neil.
It's not too hard for me to do.
Yeah. BBA just kind of sits in the background going, I'm just listening to these clowns.
Yeah, he plays his guitar.
Yeah. That's a brand new BC Rich guitar he's got there, by the way. It's gorgeous. Nice. Yeah, pull that baby out and give it a little. Oh, yeah. Takes me back to the hairband days of the 80s. Look at that baby. It's awesome.
That's a sexy guitar.
Oh, yeah, I love the colors. That's great.
I kind of got my guitar pick right there. So
we can see that.
Sweet.
That's I have a picture of a guitar pick that has the word dick written on it. So when people talk about dick picks, I always send them that one.
Nice.
Well, actually, Duke, as you can probably just heard, I'm bringing this to an end because I have things I have to go do. So, anyways, again, Rachel,
you've got a social life and we don't.
We
get it, Neil. You think you're better than us? We got it.
Well, that's not.
He is, but don't tell him that.
I'm better than you. I already know that. Just kidding.
Well, the thing is you're not far there from the truth. There, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, let's face it.
Dude, I'm no better than anyone else, really, or at least I'm no better than anyone else has the potential to be. I always say, be the best version of yourself. So, there you go. Anyways, IQ, did you want to say anything before we take off?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God, that's the best.
He joined just to say hi. That's it.
can't stop laughing. That was awesome. Anyways,
Yeah, thanks for having me out. Russ, way to bring the bacon, man.
all right, this was a lot of fun, you guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, Dallas, man, you got to jump in more. I don't. Maybe you're just not seeing when I go live or something. But
well, I'd just gotten home and I saw you were live with Rachel, and I was like, "Fuck, I missed that." I'm gonna go back and try to watch that. But that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Rachel's great people, and I'm.
I
had the pleasure of getting to meet her in person and hang out and talk and drink, and it was a lot of fun.
What you need to do though, Dallas, is you need to go to the live chat and read the best part of any Neil stream, which is my fun fact.
The fun fact.
They were good fun facts.
They're good. Anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, all my spiel about I now have a Patreon. You can become a Patreon. The links are below, my wish list, etc., and my Discord, my new Discord that IQ set up for me, which I'm actually remembering to put the links to in my descriptions now.
Attaboy.
And if you watch the original video, all the relevant links for Rachel are there. And there's a lot more that pop up in the chat. And if you actually have that activated, you can see those links as well. And until next time, guys, thanks to everyone for joining me today, by the way. Until next time, guys, like I always say at the end of my shows, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.
Titty sprinkles.